pitch in Indy this week. I mean, and I think with him, like, there was speculation he was going to pitch in this series, that because he pitched yesterday or he was going to pitch yesterday. So, I mean, I think when you have someone that's talented like he is, there's always going to be speculation, and people are always going to say, and people are always going to have it figured out. Well, we haven't figured it out yet. So the people that have speculated on it, I think, are purely going to speculate on, when he pitches. Because, I mean, I heard speculation that he was going to pitch yesterday because it was his day to pitch, or he was going to pitch today. And, so I think there's going to be that speculation.
That is Derek Shelton speaking before yesterday's game about all the speculation that Paul Skenes was going to come up, make his major league debut against the Cubs on Friday or Saturday. And when I read the quote initially, and I read scheduled to pitch in Indy, I thought, ooh, semantics. Look at him. It's like when Callis does the fan headlines, and they'll go, first pitch scheduled for 6:40. And I always go, well, yeah, they're going to play it at 6:40. I thought maybe he was being cute. Maybe he was doing one of them things. But then I watched it. He came away as a guy telling the truth there, Doran. And then I start to get my brain spinning and think about the common sense elements here. Why would they downplay it if it was going to happen? Like, why would Derek Shelton say, well, he's scheduled to pitch in Indy. Now we're on to Tuesday. They haven't announced he's going to be up here in Pittsburgh. They do want to sell tickets, ultimately. I don't think the guy's making his debut this weekend. And in fact, if he doesn't make it this weekend, he's not going to do it on the road. I don't think it'll be until, at the earliest, May 21st.
What if he just doesn't know? I mean, what if he just... I mean, like, for real, like, and not in a bad way. What if that's just not... It's something that's just relayed to him, and he just has to prepare for it? Like, what is he a part of all the discussions about Paul Skenes? Probably not. He's trying to run a major league ball club here. I mean, yeah, he's aware of certain things, maybe. I'm just speculating. I mean, obviously, this is just me just spitting right now, but maybe he's like, he's scheduled. I don't know. Like, I don't keep tabs on him.
Yeah.
Like,
I got my own ball club to manage.
They tell me whenever he's ready, and then they send him to me, and then I get him and put him into this roster. Maybe he's like, yeah, he's scheduled to play. Like, he's like, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out, too. Like, maybe it's something that's relayed to him, and maybe it's relayed to him at 7:30 this morning. And he's like, okay, well, he was scheduled to play. I didn't lie. And now he's here. I don't know.
I hope that's the case. I hope Derek Shelton's not in the loop on that then.
I just don't know how much in the loop he would really be in right now during a season. Like, I'm not saying that he's not at all, but like fully in the loop as much as like Cherington?
Man, you make a compelling argument because Ben Cherington passed the buck to Derek Shelton with that whole Jared Jones game against the Mets. So Jones gets pulled out after 59 pitches, 50 of them being strikes in the fifth inning against the Mets, and Ben Cherington says, yeah, that was basically the coaching staff's decision. So maybe when it comes to this here ball club in Pittsburgh, it's on Derek Shelton, but whenever you're talking about grand plans with a Paul Skenes, perhaps that's just on Ben Cherington. I don't know. I'd like to think you're right on this because I want his ass up here. I am tired, though, of seeing all these blogger accounts, these burner accounts, these pirate fan accounts out there saying, well, their rotation's not their problem. Man, if the Steelers' offensive line had played well last year and Broderick Jones is on the bench, I still would have been pissed because I thought Broderick Jones was one of their best 5 offensive linemen. I can't agree in principle. Paul Skenes is ready for the show. And if you're ready for the show, you should be up here pitching in the big leagues. Full stop. There's nothing you can say that would make me think otherwise. Well, you've got 5 good pitchers going right now. So what? He is one of their best 5. So if you got 5 good ones, make it a 6-man rotation. Or if you got 5 good ones, bump one of them to the bullpen, strengthen your bullpen, and put Paul Skenes in your rotation. What are they waiting for? What boxes are still left to be checked?
That's kind of my question, too, is like, what else do you need to see? At that level.
They wanted to see him go on, 4 days rest. Mm-hmm. So he's done that now for the first time in his big league career, and it was his worst start. Okay, fine. But he has nothing else to prove from an on-the-field standpoint. I think it's more about recovery then after pitching on a 4-day rest. So maybe they're just waiting a couple of days just to see how his arm's feeling, how his body's feeling. Maybe that's it. Mm-hmm. Maybe he is scheduled to pitch against the Louisville Bats this weekend. But if he feels good after having gone on 4 days rest, maybe at that point you say, okay, bye. this afternoon. All right, you feel good? You feel like you normally do? Okay, now you'll go.
Like we talk about too, like how they could promote this and make this a big event and sell tickets and get people at the ballpark. I think that they have a pretty decent sense that even if they put it out at 11 p.m. on Thursday night, that the ballpark will still be packed.
You know what though? I think you want to get the national hype too. I think the earlier you put it out, the better.
I agree. I agree with you. Like, if they know, like, you do it now, so you can get that prepared and everything. But I think that they're just like, this guy's going to sell regardless.
Mm-hmm. And he will. And I do think there would be a massive crowd one way or the other. It would probably be a little bit bigger if you give more notice. But I want MLB Network there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want it to look like Strasburg's debut, which I heard Starkey talking about it yesterday. He read a piece about it at the time, and he obviously made his debut against the Pirates, striking out 14 dudes. Delwyn Young hit an opposite field home run. My God. Anyway, that was the most anticipated start in Major League Baseball history. Why wouldn't Paul Skenes be the same? Paul Skenes has had a better, albeit shorter, track record in the minor leagues than Strasburg did. Garrett Cole was a 1-1 guy with the Pirates. Paul Skenes has a better, again, albeit shorter, track record in AAA. He throws 100 with regularity. I think it should be as hyped as at least Garrett Cole's debut, and I think it should be as hyped as Steven Strasburg's. You will be the story of Major League Baseball. You will be one of the sports stories. So give ESPN a time to get their bigwigs geared up and sent to Pittsburgh. Let MLB Network.
You don't think that they would do that, though?
Shows. Well, if you announce it on Wednesday, they'd be. I just give as much time as possible.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying.
People got kids. Like, I know if it's Saturday, I can't go. If it's Friday, I can go. People care about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but this is time for them to flex their muscles and have the control. It's like, we're controlling this, and we're going to let you know when we feel like letting you know, and you're still going to be there regardless.
Maybe they want the speculation, man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they want that ramp. Maybe they think maybe the Pirates PR machine thinks it's better that we speculate than we just have a couple of days to talk about the oncoming Skenes debut. Because if they announced yesterday Skenes was making his debut, that would be our show today.
Right.
What would it be on Wednesday? Probably not quite as much. But if we're speculating, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here.
I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but do you remember the kind of process with Garrett Cole?
It took him forever.
I mean, like that, the initial, whenever he got brought up, like how many days was it announced? Like, I mean, you're not going to know this, but somebody could text us or tweet us, like, was it like a day before? Was it 4 days before? Was it a week before? Like, did we know that this was coming? Like 100%? Like, I kind of feel like they're going to do the same process with Skenes as they did with Cole.
So he had his first start June 11th, 2013. And the story came out on June 8th. So 3 days notice. Now, I know that Dan Zangrilli had thrown out there just what made sense to him common sense-wise, May 10th.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to give him extra rest,
Saturday.
He could go on Saturday.
Right.
And if he would go on Saturday, if you're following the Garrett Cole timeline, they could announce it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, there's 3 days. Okay, all right. Maybe I'm not needing to push the panic button. I will say, your theory about maybe Shelton doesn't know, it holds some water. If he does know, it did seem to me that Derek Shelton was telling the truth. Best to his knowledge.
Yeah.